Hey guys, what's up? It's Merc here from Bullshit Games with
The Lich Lord.
And we just finished playing some Dystopian Wars.
Yep. 2 games, actually.
Yep. So that's what we're going to be talking about today here in, what is it, Tabletop Madness or whatever this playlist is.
Something like that.
Not entirely. It's a little late, I'm sorry.
We just got done playing 1 4-hour game.
Yeah, one did last 4 hours.
That was probably an hour and a half.
Hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah, which would have went on a lot longer, but we decided to call it because it was kind of one-sided.
Yeah, I don't think there was any coming back there.
No, not under the circumstances that were going on.
No. So, you want to talk about the first game first?
Yeah, sure, I think that'd be the best way.
That was a 3-player game. It was myself, the Lich Lord, and our buddy Dom. And it was the FSA, the Federated States of America, the Kingdom of Britannia, and the Prussian Empire.
Yep, I played the Prussians, you played the Americans, and our friend Dom played
the Brits.
The Brits, which I guess we can start off with the 2 armies that we played because we know more about them than we do about Dom's. But yeah, I used the Prussian Empire, and it was the basic starter set: 9 frigates, a battleship, and 3 cruisers, and 2 bombers. And there were, 2 units of 5 fighters. Yeah. So that was basically what I played, and it was just the standard starter set.
As the same thing I had. I had 3 units of 3 frigates, a unit of 3 cruisers, the battleship, the 2 A-17 bombers, and 2 wings of planes.
Yeah. The battle itself was pretty... I mean, it was pretty much... it
was a good slugfest.
It was a good slugfest. I guess we should go over the Kingdom of Britannia a little bit.
Well, it was the same deal.
It was the same thing.
He had the starter set. It was a starter. It was just the Spartan starter set games.
Yeah.
Is what it was.
Which one thing I'll say about the Britons getting just to start off is that their shield generator is very good, and they seem to be very good in short range, and they had a lot of torpedoes. They had a ton of torpedoes.
Their frigates had a lot of firepower.
Yep.
I noticed just comparing their frigate to, my FSA frigate, I have a dinky turret on my frigate. And that's all it has. It's 4 dice at range band 1, which, Right. Whereas him, as long as he stayed at range band 2, he had port and starboard, torpedoes, broadsides, turrets.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean...
Yeah, they seem very powerful, and the army is in general everything seemed really balanced. But I definitely thought that his battleship was powerful, and his cruisers were relatively powerful too.
The thing I noticed about that though is if they got within range band 1, they weren't so good because their torpedoes couldn't fire.
Torpedoes no longer worked, which isn't the case with all of the armies.
Yeah,
there are several. I don't think the Japanese. I think they can shoot.
The Japanese can shoot range band 1. I think
there are a few other armies.
They're the only ones I think.
I
don't know about the Ottomans, the Italians,
the
Alliance nations, because I haven't really looked at any of those. The other thing, I will say, because my battleship and the FSA battleship and the Britannian battleship did get into a punch out kind of dogfight.
This is pretty much how the game ended.
Yeah, and it was a pretty even thing because I couldn't use my rockets in range band 1. He couldn't use his torpedoes.
Right.
So you had that going on, and it was just turrets. And I got some lucky criticals, which really helped.
Yep. What did you use for a generator on your?
I had the rocket battery. I took rocket batteries on everything.
Okay. And Dom had the
Guardian
generator, which helped his cruisers out also because
every ship within 8 inches of his battleship got a 1-die shield.
One thing I noticed with the Prussians, with their battleship, it's kind of a jack of all trades. It's good with boarding. I unfortunately didn't get a chance to board at all, but and it's pretty good in range band 1, range band 2. It does all right in range band 3. Range band 4, it's not so good.
I apologize. I'm sorry.
But in the first game, I used the calcification.
Or the
OGD, I think?
Ultrasonic Pulverization Generator.
Yeah. Which was really cool, but unfortunately I only got to use it once against a frigate.
Yeah, against a frigate of all things.
It only has an 8-inch range, so... But basically it just causes all kinds of malfunctions in the other ship. I thought that was pretty cool.
The one thing I'll say about the Americans is they have maneuverable on all their ships because of the paddle wheels, And if you have we were playing objectives, and there was objective kind of in the middle of the table, and there was islands sort of all around it.
Yeah.
And I was able to bring my cruisers and my battleship up to like one of the entrances to like the little lagoon where the objective was. And because Americans have maneuverable, I just went all stop, and I can still turn 90 degrees.
Right.
So I could just bring all my guns to bear where I needed in that little like kill zone.
Yeah.
So that's pretty. I thought was a pretty nice ability the Americans have.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
the Americans, when you take the rocket batteries, they're pretty good at like range band 4.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know.
And did you have torpedoes also? Yeah, on your frigates.
Mm-mm.
No, you
Nope,
didn't?
I don't have torpedoes.
Okay, for some reason I thought
We are a torpedo-free nation.
Oh.
Just like you.
Yeah, no torpedoes.
I lied. I have torpedoes on my torpedo bombers and on my bombers. My bombers have torpedoes.
Okay.
But your bombers have Tesla guns.
Yeah, my bombers have Tesla guns, but I do have fighter bombers.
You're a bunch of mad geniuses with
they
Tesla
are.
coils.
Which that's one thing that's really cool about the Tesla coils is once you get damaged, they don't. They're redoubtable, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
So that their number doesn't go down like normally when you get wounded or damaged, your weapons, they get a little bit weaker.
Yeah.
As
each point of damage you take is a point off your gunnery.
Right. Where with Tesla weapons, it doesn't.
Anything that's redoubtable.
Right. Which Tesla weapons are not necessarily something that's going to set the world on fire, but the fact that they're always going to be that is what's nice. So
see, the thing I liked most about like the American fleet is that ability to just go, well, I don't want to get any closer. I'm going to sit back and shoot.
Yeah, especially in that scenario we had, because it was basically this. We had this one objective, and it was surrounded by islands, as he already said. So he was able to just kind of like, oh, I'm going to wait for you to enter this area and then pretty much just, blast you. But yeah, that was definitely very useful there. And I think that with playing a three-way battle, it's good to have objectives, mostly because...
something to draw everybody in.
Right. Because, sometimes you might get somebody who sits back, or you might get,
Because, even playing as I was with my fleet, I still came up into like range
you were
band
in
2 or 3 so that I could...
area. You're probably within, 6 or 7 inches of the surrounding area we had around the objectives. So.
I was within 16 inches of the objective.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed the game. We're veterans of.
We played a lot of Uncharted Seas. Yeah.
So the rules are similar. There's
just a little things you got to pick up, like generators. Like what?
Generators. We didn't play with cards.
No, but that's because they say if you're going to play with more than 2 people, you should have 2 decks of cards.
Okay.
And we only have 1. That and I bought my cards when 1.1 edition of the rules was out. I don't know if they've changed between 1.1 and the 2 or whatever this edition, the newest edition of the rules. I don't know if they've changed.
Okay, but yeah, I definitely really enjoyed the game.
Oh yeah,
the mechanics are very sound. So
I like that there's flying models, naval models, and there's land. We didn't use any land models, but there's the land element to the game, which I think all of that is pretty neat, and it just works it seamlessly ties together.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree.
I definitely want to try my carrier for my Americans at some point.
Yeah,
because
that's one of the things I was most impressed with in the first game. That was the bombers. I really thought that was fun to mess with. They're not the toughest things on the board, but they're just very maneuverable and adds a different dimension to the battlefield. Which
I agree.
It's definitely cool.
Especially yours, because they have the Tesla guns.
Yeah, because they have
crazy
fixed fore weapons and aft weapons too. But and obviously they have bombs. But yeah, the Prussian bombers are almost more of they're a bomber, but they're also very good at supporting other ships and other planes and stuff too.
Yeah.
So. I guess that's probably
the Brits. I will say that just the amount of torpedoes they can put out is kind of ludicrous. It's scary good.
Oh yeah. The Brits are. I don't know much about their army in general, but I definitely I thought they were pretty cool. Just designs. I really like the designs of all the ships, but I really like the design of the Brits also.
Yeah, really the only naval ships that I don't particularly care for is the Empire of the Blazing Sun.
Oh yeah.
They look like trains.
Yeah,
they look like train engines.
Kind of true. But
that's just me.
Empire of the Blazing Sun is definitely a pretty good army.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
No, the Chinese, I really like the way their ships look. They look like floating fortresses. Yeah. They look really cool.
And the guy who played with us, he also has
the French,
which we didn't play with them at all today, but
they look pretty cool.
They're definitely pretty awesome ships.
The Heat Lance sounds like it's scary.
Yeah.
And that really scares me as a Russian player because it takes away my biggest advantage. It's scary.
What does it take away?
It's the dice to hit you is like double your critical or damage rating.
Okay.
Yeah, so against my battleship, he'd get like 20 dice.
Right.
Yeah.
Sheesh. But I guess
still only do 1 point of damage.
I guess mentioning the Russians, though, we can go into
the second game we had,
which
was Russian coalition versus the Prussian Empire.
And we added a few things.
We did.
I guess we'll start with what you added to the above the starter set.
My fleet was the starter set, which was the battleship, 3 cruisers, 2 bombers, 2 fighter wings, and I ran. Because here's the funny thing: both the starter sets I got came with 10 frigates.
Yeah.
The starter sets the other guys got only came with 9. Don't know why. That's the way it worked. So I ran 2 squads of frigates and an escort with my battleship, and I added in the small flying ships, the Syrinsks, I think. It's very Russian-y, and I'm not good at pronouncing it, but they're really nice little flying ships. I really thought they helped out a lot.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and my 2 bombers. That was all I brought.
And I had the starter set, which was the same army I had before. Battleship, cruisers, frigates, so forth. But I added the Sky Fortress, which was pretty cool.
AKA the Hindenburg.
The Hindenburg. Not gonna comment on that.
Look at it this way. I didn't bring it crashing down in flames.
That's true, but
it wasn't flames.
it was in flames. It was
in flames from like turn 2 on.
Giant ball of flame the entire game.
To be fair, if that was a real dirigible, it would have blown up.
Yeah,
with all the fire on it. Yeah.
But I guess we'll start from the start.
Well, from the start, he was discouraged.
Yeah, it was. Let's just say that the Russians. I don't know if you've ever. I'm not going to say they're overpowered. I don't think they're overpowered. It's just they have a weakness that is very obvious, but is extremely hard to exploit.
Yeah.
And the weakness is that they basically have no aft guns at all. And their broadsides are kind of
Yeah, their asses are just flapping in the breeze.
But their foreguns are absolutely insane. And it's really not that difficult to, aim a ship.
Well, and in this, having the main turret having 270 line of fire, and each of those raised turrets having 180,
right. So I mean,
you can do a decent shot to the side,
right? But yeah, I mean, it what is it like 20 dice in range band 2?
Yeah, I think it's 20 dice in range band 2,
which was just
it was 24 or 26 in range band 1.
Yep, and I think like the first. No, it was probably like the start of the third round.
Yeah.
You got a shot off on my battleship and had a critical hit.
Yep.
And it was kind of down, but it got a little closer. I
will say this. I love the Russian bomber. Not for its guns, not for its bombs, but it has the hard shell ability where it can just crash into something. And it does 10 dice of damage. So if you do that with both of them, it's 15 dice of damage, which... That's like a shot from a battleship at range band 2.
Something that's pretty much going to critical whatever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But
I had him worried the entire game.
From the very beginning, he aimed them right at my Sky Fortress. So I'm like,
I told you I was going to...
What are you going to do with that?
I told you I was going to bring it down like the Hindenburg.
And it's like, But
so you did kind of put an insurmountable amount of resources into trying to bring down those 2 bombers.
That is kind of true.
They sort of distracted you from that unit of 3 cruisers that were...
Well, the thing is the Sky Fortress isn't very good at range band 3, but the things were in range band 2, so it's like... But yeah, it definitely did a little bit. One thing I will say about the Sky Fortress is it can take a beating.
It definitely can. That thing...
It has 10 hit points, and it got hit with like 6 criticals.
The only downside to that
4 or 5 criticals
is then it would have been four criticals.
Yeah.
That would have been 8 hull points. But the only downside to that is, like, every time it takes a crit, it catches fire.
Yeah. Yep.
But then again, fires... That's the one thing I want to say. I noticed there's a difference in the crit table between this game and Uncharted Seas.
Yeah.
Because the old Uncharted Seas crit table, it was like, if you took a hard pounding, you lost, like, 3 hull points and crew points. In this, you only lose crew points.
Yeah.
And just like in Uncharted Seas, if you had a fire took away hull points.
Yeah.
In this, it only takes away crew points. And if you don't put it out, you get another one. Which...
Yeah.
I like my critical table to be brutal.
Yeah. Which there are some pretty cool ones. Like,
oh, yeah.
This kind of phase shift.
Yeah, the flare is pretty hilarious.
And also, we didn't have we had one shell explosion.
Yeah, which was,
on a frigate, so it didn't really do anything.
It was disappointing.
But yeah, I mean, I thought it was a fun game. I was very discouraged at first.
You were.
Oh, man.
You were putting out cries of OP
bad.
and cheese, and I was feeling kind of bad.
It was pretty bad at the beginning. Then it turned
around.
Well,
let's kind of hit a point as to why Russians are bad. Aside from having all their guns right in your face.
Right.
The ablative armor.
Yeah.
That's a nasty ability.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's a broken ability.
No, I don't think that the Russians are broken.
It's a nasty ability because when you hit them, to do a point of damage initially, you have to beat their critical rating.
Right.
And if you beat their critical rating, it doesn't count as a critical. It just counts as a point of damage.
Yeah.
So you have to do a critical to knock off the ablative armor, but the critical only counts as a regular hit.
Right.
That's what makes Russians kind of... And their frigates. Their frigates are really cool too.
are very, very good.
Most ships in this game, if you've never played Uncharted Seas or Dystopian Wars, you need to use turn templates. There's a small template for frigates, medium template for cruisers and medium ships, and then the big template for bigger ships.
Yeah.
Most every ship in the game needs to use that.
Yeah.
Not the Russian frigates.
No.
Russian frigates can move wherever they want, however they want. They have a 360 line of sight because they're little floating saucers.
Yep. And they have mortars are very good too. Yeah.
As long as you have a spotter, they're fantastic.
Right. That is the one. And once again, I won't say that I don't think that the Russians are broken. They just are very hard to get around.
Mm-hmm.
Once you do get around, you can do a ton of damage, and we saw that.
Yeah.
I mean, with your cruisers,
I
was able to get around them, and I was able to knock them apart pretty good. But with
you either have to make that decision of, do I try to turn around? Or do I keep going forward and try to get something else in my guns?
Right. But in the end, I mean, I had lost... My battleship was destroyed by your battleship.
Yep.
And my...
one cruiser
Sky
left?
Fortress had one... Yeah, I had one cruiser left, and I had
Which
the
was
Sky
limping.
Fortress.
Wait, did you have the cruiser, or did I take it out with my frigates? Might have taken it out with my
You might have
frigates.
taken it out. I'm not sure.
I know you had a bomber, your Sky Fortress...
Right, and the Sky Fortress was down
planes.
to 1, and... Your battleship was untouched, so it's kind of like, okay, I have no way I can...
Well, and the other thing that really helped me was a lucky critical on your Sky Fortress in the beginning, which made it so you couldn't launch and land planes. And
I will say, with the first game we played, I didn't think that the fighters had much of an effect on the game.
Well, it's because we were doing it wrong. We were going after the wrong ships with them.
Right.
You know, we were trying to hit like battleships with our
and they just got
bombers.
Obliterated. But in this game, when I had the Sky Fortress, they were pretty useful because I was able to go back. Well, I would have been able to go back and refuel at the Sky Fortress instead of having to go off the table.
The other thing is, Russians have terrible anti-aircraft fire.
Yeah.
They're hard.
I did notice
at anti-aircraft. It's like, you brought planes.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, the Russians have some big weaknesses, but they have some extremely big strengths too.
Yep.
Where it's hard to get around that.
From this game, from both these games, I was a little underwhelmed by the Prussian battleship.
Yeah, I was a little bit also. I mean, and we were talking about this before we made a video, and I think what it is that the Prussian battleship is very much a jack of all trades, but master of none.
Yeah.
So it's kind of good range band 3 and 4, pretty good, really good range band 2, and good at range band 1, but there's nothing where it's like really going to hit you hard in that range band. I like it. I think it works well, and I still have a lot of learning to do with it. But
the one thing I was disappointed in is you didn't take a generator when we played, and my Russians didn't get to mimic generator or anything.
Well, that's one of the reasons that they take. And I just wanted to see if I would have noticed more firepower with 3 cannons instead of.
I would have really liked to have had the Russians against the British and mimicked their Guardian generator. That would have been hilarious.
I'd take that.
I have one too.
Yeah. That was a nice generator.
Yeah, well, it was. I think the next time I play my Americans, I'm gonna try different generators on my ships.
Okay. Yeah.
I might take a shield generator on my. Then again, I don't really need a shield generator on my battleship because it can stay out at like range band 3 and 4 and put out a good amount of firepower with the rockets. But like the cruisers, I could see them with the kinetic generators that let me move an extra D6 inches.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice.
I think I'll probably try the shield generator out a couple times, see if that helps. Yeah. And I might try the Tesla generator or something.
Tesla generator is nice because it gives you extra movement.
Yeah.
Movement in this game is important. Movement in any naval game is important, but it's really important in this game. So that's overall. I'm happy. I thought it was great. I really liked Uncharted Seas. It seems like Spartan. Well, I can't say that they have sort of moved away from that because they've just released new fleets for the humans, the Ralgard, the elves, and the orcs, and I think the dwarves. I don't know if the Dragon Lords have got a new fleet yet or not.
And they have a new book. They have a new rulebook.
New rulebook, new fleets. So they're coming back to it. I think what happened was though they released Dystopian Wars, and I think it just took off like a rocket, and they didn't expect that.
I think it's mainly because it draws in not only the fantasy and science fiction gamers, but also gets the steampunk crowd, the historical crowd, and it gets a lot of
naval crowd.
Gets a lot of different people who like that kind of stuff. So Firestorm Armada is going to get sci-fi people.
You're going to get the people. Uncharted Seas is going to get the people that wanted to have Men of War come back and instead got Dreadfleet.
Right. Yeah.
Woo! And Firestorm Armada will draw in people that want a quick and easy sci-fi naval game. Because I know there's like Battleship Commander or something out there, which is really tactical and really
people
complex.
Who don't want to pay like $600 for a Battlefleet Gothic.
Well, Battlefleet Gothic and all of the specialist games are no longer supported by Games Workshop, so it's pretty soon going to be eBay where the only place you can get ships from.
Yep. But I think that's one of the reasons why this is also a really good system is because they learned from Uncharted Seas, they learned from Firestorm Armada, and now they're doing this, and they're doing very well, and I hope they continue to do very well.
One thing I'll say, I know some of you guys out there that watch us are on the Spartan forums. I signed up for the Spartan forums, 12-sided Merc over there. The community is active. It's people are talking about the game on the forums.
It froze.
Froze for a minute. I don't know if that's going to screw up the video or not. But people are active on the forums, and it seems like people from Spartan Games are active on the forums too. It seems like they come on, they answer people's questions, they take note of what people are saying. And I don't know if that's because at the moment Spartan Games is a small enough company that they can do that, or if they're just devoted enough to their fan base that they do that.
Which I really hope it's the second. I hope they stay devoted, and I hope because they're really easy to deal with. They have good prices, and they make good games.
Oh yeah, yep.
So
and I hope that Dystopian Wars and Dystopian Legions continues to be a big hit, because that way hopefully they can bring us the 28mm fantasy game that goes along with Uncharted Seas.
Yeah, because that'd be awesome.
Which we have seen miniatures for in the rulebook, so that would be great to see that. Overall, I will say, when did we get into Uncharted Seas?
That was probably like 6 or...
Were we still in high school?
No, it was like the year we graduated.
We were 18.
Yeah.
18.
So, about 5 years. No,
6 or 7.
7 years.
Yeah. 7.
Because
7 years.
It was when we went down to Historicon in a blizzard.
Yeah.
That's when we got it.
So it has been 7 years of being a part of the Spartan community.
If our memories are correct.
It might be a little shorter. It might be like 6 or 5. But still, it's a pretty long time. We kind of got in this when it first came out.
Yeah.
And it's one of those companies that I'm glad I got into the game.
Definitely.
It wasn't like the mishap with Starship Troopers and Mongoose where it was like, yes! Oh God.
Yeah. But we won't get into that now, or unless you really want to.
No, but that's a video for another time. That's a video that's coming. That and the GW video.
I might just leave you do that one. I don't know.
Oh no,
I don't know if I want to.
You're gonna put on your flame retardant jumpsuit, and you're gonna do it with me.
It's like a giant nest of pornips. I just don't think I. I want to let.
I don't think we have that many GW followers.
That's true.
So,
that's true. But still, it's one of those things.
I think that I think it would be a fair video to do. It's not like we're gonna come down super heavy because
I don't hate.
I still like the games. I just don't see the point in paying the prices.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
That'll be the crux of that argument. And I'm sure most people that watch this will understand that it makes sense. Whereas, we both are starting to get the itch to play Magic again, where we'll be shelling out, like $40, $60 a month.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't make sense either.
Yeah, true. Well, I mean, I don't know. I haven't bought Magic in a while, so I don't know what the price is for.
$19.99 for a starter set.
For a starter set.
Okay. That used to be like $10.
That's pretty expensive. Yeah. I wonder what it is for just a box of boosters. That used to be like $100.
Probably like $150.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're not supposed to buy boxes of boosters at a time. You're supposed to buy three or four booster packs.
True.
Like your normal friends do.
But, I mean, yeah, true.
So that you don't have the entire catalog of rares.
Well, it's easy to do.
And your friends have like 3 shitty rares.
It's easy to do when, you're working full time, so it's like, all this money, and I don't do anything with it. Hey, I'm just going to buy a box of Magic boosters. It's been a really long time. In fact, I only ever bought one box. My brother bought most of the box.
But at least now, you're old enough to drink, so you can spend that money on beer instead of cards.
Yeah. I don't know if it's good or bad.
It's
probably good. It's probably
good.
At least
you have a chance of meeting women if you're spending money on booze. Well, this is kind of
evolved,
spiraled down. So tomorrow, I move back to Mansfield.
Yep.
You start school on Monday. I start school on Monday.
Yep.
Which means this week coming up, there will be probably the first episode of the Quest for Gaming at College. And we're also going to try to get you that Let's Play of Smash Up. Since I'll actually be able to upload it from my laptop.
We played that for like 2 months ago.
Yeah, a month and a half ago.
There was a weird thing that went on with the
my thumb drive. My thumb drive's not big enough. It's like 0.2 gigs too big for my thumb drive.
Yeah. But
fantastic.
That'll be up. I thought that was a fun game.
It was great. And I'm not even going to say it. We say it all the time. We always say, we're going to get a camera and do battle reports. And then we don't get a camera.
Pretty sure we've consigned ourselves to doing it on a laptop
I've
for as long as we can.
As long as we can. No. Christmas is coming.
Hey, family,
Hey, Mom and Dad, we're rambling. We're rambling really bad now.
All right.
But yeah, that is our thoughts on Dystopian Wars. I loved it. I think the Lich Lord
it was great. I
enjoyed it. I'm pretty sure our buddy Dom, he's looking forward to playing it again.
Oh, yeah.
Probably going to be mostly the 3 of us playing. My dad might join in at some point. And if he does, we're just going to give him the Russians. And there you go.
We're all going to lose.
We're all going to die horribly. Because he'll roll like 26s.
Yeah.
Blow up your battleship on turn 1. But, that's been us for Dystopian Wars. Hopefully you guys like the video. Hopefully you like what we're doing here at Bullshit Games. Hopefully, 10 minutes ago when the camera froze and stopped recording, it didn't screw things up too bad. We're gonna go. I gotta pack at least one bag tonight.
Yeah.
I gotta pack another bag in the morning. So that's gonna be my evening and morning. Then I'm moving back.
I live at home when I go to school, so it's I don't have to worry about any of that.
Yeah, it's more fun when you don't live at home. Well, no, I can't say that. Well, we're going to go, and hopefully you guys had a good time. Hopefully, if you play Dystopian Wars, you like it as much as we did. If you do play Dystopian Wars, why don't you leave us a comment? Let us know what fleet you play, or what fleet you want to play, or what fleet you have problems playing against.
And also, if you play any of the stuff we play, any suggestions or hints on how to play them better, that'd be good too.
Yes. If you think parking with American ships and doing that is a horrible idea, tell me why in the comments. If you like what we're doing, leave us a like. Subscriptions are always appreciated. And we'll see you next time here on Bullshit Games.